Hey everyone, so I'm gonna do this video. I bought this synth 9 pedal, the Electro-Harmonics Synth 9 pedal, and they have a whole range of these 9 pedals. They have the Mel 9 and the Bass 9 and about, I don't know, more than a few, and they're pretty cool. But I bought this one because I figured, hey, adding some synth to guitar would be cool. But I found out, as you can see over here, there's a synth output and a dry output. And then there's the dry knob here, and then the synth knob. And the problem is when you hit the bypass, dry guitar still comes out of the synth output. And I didn't want that. I wanted synth only so I could send it to a separate channel, and then dry only where I could do a split off and keep it in the signal chain for my guitar, or I'm actually feeding a harmonizer pedal so it would trigger the harmonies with the guitar. But anyway, I wanted synth and dry to be separate. Well, they're not. When you hit the switch off, you still get dry guitar through the synth output, and like I said, didn't want that. So I was looking online about it, and I found this guy. His name's Scott Troyer, and I'll give him some reference here because he was the only one that I found that had it figured out. ScottTroyer.com for some mods. Evidently, Electro-Harmonics did in later versions. Well, before that, they admitted, hey, we screwed up, and that was not the way it should have been designed. So anyway, in later versions, they added a switch right here between this lead and that lead. And then there's a little trace, and as you can see, I scratched off the trace right here with a knife, and it's just like a little circuit board trace. And hopefully this will, come up on the screen, but here is basically the basic mod. Let me roll this down. There's the switch. There's the switch. And basically it says, this guy Scott Troyer says, you cut the lead going to cut that trace, and then add a jumper from the ground to that trace, and it makes it where when you hit the switch, no dry comes out of the synth output. So that's what I'm doing right now. So I got me a little tiny piece of wire that I'm going to be jumping between there and there. And because I've never used this live, and I want to use it live, but I want to use it the way I want it to work. And the newer ones evidently have an internal switch, and maybe later on I'll install one of those. And the Scott Troyer guy says you can put an external switch on it. You can do it where you have a switch on your jack, which is the way it should work. He's got different mods, in fact, right here on the screen. Basic mod, intermediate mod, advanced mod, and he goes down and explains it really, really well. So anyway, I don't know if you can see that, but there's the link to his mod page, and he seems like he knows a lot about this stuff. He says he's pretty much got every 9 pedal out there. So I'm going to do this, and hopefully it works the way I want it to. And like I said, I'm going to reference this Scott Troyer guy, and thanks, dude. If this works, I'll send you a message and say thank you again. So that's what I'm doing today, because I have a gig tomorrow and I want to use this thing.